welcome back to Career View Mirror. I'm your host, Joyel Crawford, and today I have a very special guest, Marilyn Pendelton, who is the founder and CEO of Your Voice Heard, LLC. Welcome to the show, Marilyn.
Thank you for having me, Joyel.
It's so nice to have you on the show because I met you through somebody else. Somebody referred me to you and they said, I've got a perfect guest for your show. And I was just like, we've got to know each other. So we've been talking for a couple months now.
Yes, we have.
And I'm really excited and intrigued about your career because Your Voice Heard is not only just something for local communities, but for the global community. So can you specifically describe what your career is? Like, what do you do as the founder of your own company?
Well, actually, my focus is on resilience and engagement as functioning as a grief recovery method specialist. But more importantly, I look at data because in our society, everything is big data. So you can look at data in schools, in the legal profession, in construction, and there's always an emotional connection to that. I became introduced to the grief recovery methods, grief recovery method, I would say around 2005.
Okay.
While I was working as a school nurse, and then it just kind of developed into my company. It started out with recognizing that the various losses that children experience besides trauma impact their academic performance, their behaviors, and their development. In addition, engaging with the staff in the school, I learned that they had emotional losses too, and became a support in the school and developed my business from there.
And did you just like wake up one morning and just say, you know what, I'm going to do this. I'm going to create my own company and my own business? Or did, were there any kinds of like little breadcrumbs of hints along the way, along your path?
Well, I truly believe that this is a calling for what I'm doing, and my passion to help people and help people heal. My first degree is as a registered nurse, so that was already present in me.
That's fantastic. So helping people heal.
Yes.
I mean, it's really a fantastic focus, and there is so much strength and power behind data. And that is something that lots of people don't exactly love to do. So this is the right business for you to be in because you really love that information to help, empower others and help them grow and also heal and move forward. So that's fantastic.
Thank you.
Like, do you have to I know that you've gotten your RN and you were a nurse. When was that shift made, to when you decided to kind of focus on the grief recovery method and putting it into business?
Quite actually, I was working as a leader in a school district, and I wasn't fulfilled in my work, and I knew that there was something else I needed to do. Unfortunately, I was in a car accident a few years ago. I was laying in my bed and watching Facebook, and someone that I knew was graduating from a doctoral program. I went all the way through their feed because I remember when they posted and when they started the program. I said, wow, that was fast. Therefore, I said, let me investigate that. I had the opportunity to get my doctorate 2 other times, but there was nothing I had a passion to do. With grief recovery and helping people to be resilient and engage and connect their emotions to their behaviors and see them have an abundant and fulfilled life. I felt I needed to get my doctorate to do that. Shortly thereafter, and participating in a career development program at my church. It's called Dare to Imagine Your Career. I realized, you're not supposed to be at this job. get your doctorate.
Get your doctorate.
Do your research, and that way you can have greater impact. And that was the journey.
And that you could help others have their voice heard.
Exactly.
Oh, that's
exactly.
fantastic. And that program they gave you like free headshots and professional
Yes.
advice and development. So that sounds fantastic that they have career development programs out there like that.
Yes, they do.
So I know that you shared your headshot, so we'll make sure to share that with everyone. And that was free 99.
Yeah, that was free
program.
99, exactly.
So it says a lot to, listening to that inner voice that was telling you something's not aligning here with my values and my vision, and it just kind of all came together.
It did, and I am so passionate about it. I'm also on the committee now with my church for the career development, Dare to Imagine Your Career. I do that as well because it's very important that I communicate the connection between careers, your productivity, how you're showing up in the workplace.
Oh, absolutely.
Because there are a lot of challenges with emotional and mental wellness in the workplace, and it impacts your turnover, relationships in the workplace. I'm so passionate about that, and thus the sacrifice to,
Yes.
to do the doctorate.
I know, and
Yeah.
it's taken you some many months to get it, but you are on target to finish and graduate. When, this October? I think it is?
I'll finish my last class in September 27,
September. See,
2020.
I'm pushing it back. September. That's
Yes.
fantastic.
Yeah, it's exciting. It's so exciting, the information that's out there and learning that it's not mental health and emotional wellness is not solely a United States issue. My residency we did in Ireland, and their government is very much focused about social and emotional wellness, and particularly in leadership and how it impacts performance, and it really influences the bottom line as well.
It does. And as a leadership coach, executive coach, I focus on resilience as well. And it's not just resilience as we wear it as a badge of honor. It's something that needs to be part of the culture.
Yes.
It's not just a thing like a box to check off. It's something that needs to be infused within an organization. And it's interesting to see how other global organizations are taking their part in making sure that that's infused in the corporate culture.
Yes.
It's much needed. I mean, in order to be resilient, we've got to be flexible and agile to meet the needs of the customer and the demands of the business. But we also need to do some internal work, right?
Absolutely.
In order to not fix it, but repair what's going on so that we can continue to push people up, lift them up.
Yes,
right?
Absolutely. And my tagline, leverage data with compassion. Previously, it had been synergize, energize, and mobilize. But being in my program, I changed the focus because we are living in a society that you cannot do anything without data.
Oh, absolutely.
It's all data. But we have to have an emotional and a compassionate component to that.
Absolutely.
Because there is a story. Data always tells a story.
And how to tell that story the right way is what you focus on. It's telling the right story with that ounce of compassion, because there is a human aspect to this. We're not living in a world of robots and droids and androids, right? Not yet. But that's such an important piece to what you do with your business. And I'm telling you, not a lot of people. I don't like lots of data. I like to understand the story of what that data is doing and how it impacts my business. But I think that that's such a key piece to do that work so that you can help others understand their story and how they fit
Exactly.
into the greater picture. That's fantastic.
I love it, and I've learned about Harvard Business Review and presenteeism, and there's a call to action summit, which which was last year, no, 2018. It's just amazing. One article I read was talking about mental health and emotional wellness being the emerging trend in D&I, diversity and inclusion. And that's where, you know, my company is focusing. We can serve various populations. Everybody has their particular niche, and mine is education and leadership, and research, of course. But there are others that are working with me. Their areas of expertise are the bilingual, the Spanish-speaking community. In addition, because we have to be diverse, it is not strictly an English-speaking grief, loss, resilience. Engagement is not isolated to English speakers, and we have those who work in the death and dying industry, those who work in construction, specifically related to working with Black males, and so we know that there's stigma regarding emotional and mental health in a variety of communities.
Absolutely.
And we need to be able to meet people where they are, help them be engaged, move beyond their losses, and just live the amazing life that is there for them.
That's fantastic. I mean, there's such a whole host of what your organization does and what your company does. And partnership. I think that's like a huge piece of it. What I'd love to know a little bit more about is Marilyn, the woman behind the business. So we are going to take a short little break, and we're going to do a little bit more of a deep dive into more about Marilyn Pendelton. We'll see you in a bit.
Add us on social media to watch bloopers, behind-the-scenes footage, previews, and more.
Choosing Medicare coverage can be a very confusing and complicated process. Help is just a phone call away, 856-226-4800. As a licensed insurance agent, I'll assist you in making an informed and confident decision on a Medicare plan that meets your needs, lifestyle, and budget. Call me today for a free, no-obligation Medicare benefits consultation, 856-226-4800.
Boardwalks built for fun. Legendary rock and roll clubs.
This is how we do it.
Casinos by the ocean.
Hippity hop.
Now that's New Jersey. 130 miles of beautiful beaches. Solid rock. And everything in between.
Look in the window.
Now that's New Jersey.
Burlington County College.
Is now Rowan College of Burlington County.
Still the same great faculty.
At a community college ranked top 50 in the nation.
Basically, we earn more and pay less.
RCBC students are accepted at Rowan University after graduation.
And get a bachelor's degree for around $30,000.
Online and Mount Laurel students get a 15% Rowan University tuition discount.
And have many scholarship opportunities.
So you earn more and pay even less.
Rowan College of Burlington County.
Your path to success.
And welcome back to Career View Mirror. We have our wonderful guest, Marilyn Pendelton, who is the founder and CEO of Your Voice Heard, LLC. Yes. And before our break, we were talking about just the holistic approach that you're using to resilience, not only just from a younger perspective, but just from a corporate perspective, and how much power there is in using that data so that people can just become more resilient and lifted in how they're leading their lives. and I wanted to know a little bit more about how you're leading your life. So I wanted to know, more so, what keeps you driven? Like, how do you, what's your why? What powers you?
What moves me is to heal, inspire, educate, and empower individuals. I am so excited when I'm able to impart information to people to help them on their journey and share some of the things that I do that they feel, oh, I can do that too.
Oh, yeah.
I take so much away from that.
There's so much strength in that. And you've just been doing you recently spoke globally in, was it Malaysia?
Yes, I was.
Tell me a little bit more about that.
A young lady, a classmate, we're in the same cohort. She told me, we're having a conference, the 6th annual, it's Special Education and Inclusion Network, CENIA Association, and they wanted speakers. And she said, Marilyn, will you come and speak? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Who wouldn't want to go
to another country?
To speak?
Yeah.
And really, my vision has always been global. I love the opportunity to go to other countries, experience their culture, meet people, and I've walked away from that experience with some amazing friendships.
And how did it feel, like looking out in front of your audience as you were speaking to them about some of the things that you're so passionate about? How did that feel?
It felt amazing because we are more alike than we are different. There are different languages, ethnicities, religions, genders, but at the end of the day, everyone experiences loss. And what we are taught, we're not taught how to deal with loss.
No. Oh, no.
And we keep all of that pent in. I was grateful for the experience to speak to the participants. It was amazing.
And I think it's fantastic that you were able to share it on such a global perspective, and that loss isn't just losing a loved one. It could be losing a contract or losing a team member or change in general.
Yes.
And that's such an integral part of our lives, because without loss, we have no growth. We have, things have to cycle that way. It's just the way life works. And so it's really helpful that you're kind of have this global reach to helping people not only with resiliency, but change management too.
Change, and that's what it's all about. It's the interchange of a familiar pattern of behavior. What we're familiar with changes, and we do not learn how to respond to that. And that's one of the greatest challenges we experience, and we learn information when we're younger, and it's not helpful with us. Even, for example, I will tell you, if you have a little breakup with a guy, you're told, oh, get another one.
Yeah.
But you haven't done the work or completed the work in that relationship to go on to a next relationship. Your heart's not healed.
Right.
And even when this is one situation, one person in Malaysia said the loss was being a child bride.
Oh, wow.
Culturally,
loss of your childhood.
And that, for me, that was a new loss that someone shared in a workshop, because I would have never thought about that. And cultures are different in different countries,
Right. Right.
I walked away with that. I learned a lot from them.
Very eye-opening. So with all of this traveling around and compiling all this data and getting your ED and trying to get everything together, how do you keep your energetic cup full? Like, what do you do to take a little break from all of this work? Because I know it's fulfilling, but all work and no play. So what do you do to keep your energetic cup full?
Oh, what I do, I make sure I get my rest.
Yes.
People ask me, Marilyn, when do you get to sleep? Yes, I get my sleep.
You do get sleep, though.
I do get sleep, and I make that a priority. In addition, don't take on everything. You can't do all things. You can't be all things to all people. And I go to the gym. In the summertime, I love to get on the river and row.
I cannot believe this.
I love it.
So you're like one of the people that are rowing down Boathouse Row?
I am.
I'm like, wow, what an athletic person. That's you.
Yeah,
you're on a rowing team?
I'm not on a team. I'm a member of Philadelphia Girls Rowing Club.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, I didn't get connected to rowing until 2009, and it's been an amazing experience, and I've met some wonderful women. There are women who are in their 70s that compete.
What?
They are powerhouses on the river. I want to grow up and be like that one day.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. I mean, do you have to start training, like, in order, I guess, rowing starts in the spring, right?
Yeah, they have classes.
So you've got classes that you take to get you kind of seasoned to doing it. So what's your favorite position? Like, I know that there's different positions in the
I prefer to
boat,
be,
I guess.
well, and it depends on your height, and I'm usually tallest.
Yes.
And that'll put me in stroke seat. So I'm usually in a double, I'm usually in stroke seat.
So for me, who's like 5'2",
You would be in the bow.
I would be in the back?
Yeah.
Okay.
But, you're responsible for steering, making sure we don't hit
Run
the bridge.
into somebody? I think that's an important role.
That is a very important role. Yes, it is.
Stroking is the power. That's the power. That's the engine. So.
Yeah, we keep the stroke seat keeps the pace.
Wow.
Yeah.
And it's almost very, very aligned with what you're doing with other people's lives and their careers. Helping them keep their pace. Right?
Yes, and very synergetic.
Yes.
When you're in the boat with someone else, you have to work in unison. That synergy is connecting with people and working together.
And communicating.
And communicating,
Absolutely.
yes.
Absolutely. That is so cool. I've never met a person who's on a rowing team, so that's
no team in the club.
A rowing club who's going to one day be a 70-year-old rowing team phenomenon.
Yeah, I hope so.
It's fantastic.
You should join us sometime.
Oh, yeah, no. I don't know. I mean, I have a hard time driving, much less steering a boat with a whole bunch of, that's a lot of responsibility. But I'd be willing to try it.
Oh, good.
I'd be willing to try it.
I have an excellent person to teach you.
Okay.
And I'll ask her to maybe join you here on your show.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, yeah.
Another guest.
Yep.
That's how it works, everybody. Network. So tell me a little bit more about the breaks. You said you get rest. You get a lot of sleep. Like, what's your bedtime ritual? Like, do you go to sleep at like a normal hour? Do you turn off things? Like, what's your ritual to getting all of this rest? Because I have a hard time with that.
I usually turn off my cell phone, turn it down. And I really don't watch television, but who has time to watch TV anyway? And I'm usually an early riser. I get up about 5, 6 in the morning, very latest.
And this club that you're in, do they get up early too? Is this the rowing club? Do you have to get up at the crack of dawn?
Well,
'cause that's a prerequisite for me.
That's usually in the morning. I mean, that's during the summer.
Okay.
But the person I go out with right now, after the car accident, I needed to get back into physical condition. So she was my trainer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So there's some steps.
Yeah.
So you get up at 5 in the morning.
On my normal day.
On your normal day, and what time do you usually typically go to sleep?
Oh, I'm in the bed about 9:30.
Okay,
10
that's
o'clock.
reasonable. Okay.
It doesn't mean I'm sleeping at that time.
No, but you've disconnected.
Right.
You're winding down. What would we've got to, unfortunately, we've got to wrap up, but I was thinking about this and I said to myself, what would the young Marilyn say? What would little Marilyn say? What would you give to advice would you give to the little Marilyn about her career or leadership in general, how she drives her career? What kind of pieces of advice would you give her?
First of all, I would say take a career assessment and personality assessment to really see what's innate in you. You know, what you're naturally driven to do. The other is follow your passion. A lot of times people want to tell you what you're supposed to do or where you're supposed to be.
Oh, yeah.
And you find yourself years doing something and you don't necessarily have the heart for it.
It's not connecting.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So connect to your passion.
Yes.
And also kind of figuring out, assess what your strengths are. So
Definitely.
that you can kind of figure that out. That's great advice. So how will we be able to find you? How do we find you and your voice, your voice heard?
Well, I am on social media, on the World Wide Web.
Web.
Yes, I have a website,
Okay.
and I am on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn.
Awesome. Excellent. Marilyn Pendelton, thank you so much for
Thank
being on the
you so
show.
much, Joyel, for having me, and I'll connect you with my rower friend.
Yes, that sounds like a fun one.
Yes.
Thank you so much, and I may get in the back to help you steer. Definitely. Thank you,
You
so
can
much
do
for
it.
being on the show. And thank you all for watching Career View Mirror, and we'll see you again. We actually are now airing at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Tuesday evenings, and on Mondays at 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So you get us 2 times, twice as nice. See you next time, and take care.